Well, it's a new day, and you can see from the brightness and behind me, it's sunny out, and I got the door open. Beautiful day. I should be out sailing. Maybe a little gusty, but I've got, well, we'll start out this section. The mast sample has cured, and I came out this morning just to see, take a look at it, and before I went for my walk, and then I come back and I thought, well, I'm going to try to loosen this up so I can see if it'll come off or not. And I was having some difficulties, and I was able to just now get it loose, so it's coming off slowly. But I had to. I'm going to have to. Before I do the full thing, I'm going to swap out the fiberglass mast for my aluminum one, because I think it's being smoother. It might slip off better, and I'm going to change the way I wrap the plastic around again too. So let me stop for a second here. I want to show you something. We'll do this little thing before we go on to the file that was the end of yesterday, where I wrapped the tube with the layer of glass cloth. We'll get into that next, but I had some epoxy left over, and this is window screening, and it's 8 wraps, and I put some plastic around the visqueen around the pipe here, and then wrapped this window screening around it, and then wetted it out. And this is actually 1/16, which is the thickness of the mast, the fiberglass mast right now, and so this is a 1/16 inch thick, and I'm surprised it's pretty herky, using its fiberglass window screen. And you could almost make it look like you could tell people it was carbon fiber, yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little experiment with this, maybe for the boom. I got a bunch of old used, or it was brand new, the hardware store that I go to a lot. When they moved, they had a lot of old screening and left over, so I've still got quite a pile. So we'll go next into where I'm wrapping the part that I did yesterday, the 4 coats or 4 wraps of 2-inch, and then I put a layer of fiberglass cloth wrapped around it, and I think there's about 4. That was about a 6-inch, so it's probably got at least 4 wraps. It was getting a little raggedy, and so I've got to sand it down, but we'll see that later. We'll go into wrapping it, and then we'll come back again. And I got a little scrap here. Get over here. The sleeving would work much better, but I think this is going to give me a smooth surface, and it's also going to suck up some of the excess. Epoxy. Let me go ahead and wet that out off camera. Yeah. We'll call that quits until we come back and let it cure overnight, and we'll come back tomorrow. See what we got. It's either a hit or a miss, one or the other. And then I can measure the thickness of the wall too. I may need to add more layers of 2-inch tape. Okay, you saw me when we wrapped it, so this is some of the end pieces I cut off in order to, I didn't know whether or not on the ends where I had taped down the tape, the 2-inch tape, whether that was, you know, gotten through, or whether I was scared there for a second that maybe the spiral wrap, that first layer on the fiberglass mast, had come loose and epoxy had leaked through, and so the one I'd wrapped and the mast were now one piece. But I cut them off, so let me reset up and we'll pull off the mast, or the sample tube. Got my plumber's plier choked up. I don't know if it shows in up here. No, it doesn't. Yeah, let's see. Get more. Here's the end of it. We'll wrap that. Okay, here we go. Came off. Okay. This thing's pretty damn stiff. Let me clean up some stuff here. Let me zoom in. This was what I was worried about, that in my testing of this, you know, when I was laying it up, I pulled it, and I think it doesn't feel like there's any epoxy in there, but I don't know if I will do that again with this wrap. This was how I had wrapped the plastic around on the bottom, and I don't know if I'm going to experiment some more with this. I think I might have a couple more strips where I wrap it around this way and maybe tape it and then put another layer over the top and then wrap the glass. We'll think about that. Got to pull the, I've already gave it a little tug, and I'm going to pull the plastic visqueen that was wrapped over out. So now all I have is the, this is actually part of the mast. And let me go ahead and clean the ends up a little bit. Actually, I was just starting to tug on this stuff. Now, let me get my pliers. Give the twist it up a little bit. This doesn't have to come out, but no. Some of it came out and some of it didn't. You can see a color change. I would probably leave it in. Just trim up the ends. Yeah, I put the tube in my jaw horse here. I'll go ahead and clean up the end a little bit here. There. It's pretty tough by putting the jaw horse. Really didn't compress much. Well, I was able to pull a lot of the that window screen out of the inside. I probably would have left it in, maybe not. I'm going to do some more. I got some more epoxy here. I'm going to do some more tests, so we can call this one test number 1. I took it outside and sanded it down, sanded all the burrs. There was some loose hairs from when I wrapped that glass cloth around it, and there's a spot up here where that wrap, the glass cloth wrap, didn't adhere. I didn't have it stuck down right. There might have been some tape or something left over from the when I was doing the 2-inch glass tape, but got my little El Cheapo calipers out, but says it's a little under a 16th, so I might have needed to have gone 1 wrap more instead of 4 wraps, 5. So I guess if you're going to go that, you might as well go 6. Yeah, this side reads a lot less. So yeah, a couple more wraps, maybe 6 wraps of the 2-inch tape would have the thickness I want. I don't know if this is a good test for flax, but how much deflection I've got there. Pretty tough. Let me, I want to change mast. Let me put the glass mast away and bring down my aluminum mast. Got the aluminum mast out, and it is 15 feet 9 inches, and I used it on my large sailboard sail, which is 7.2 square meters, and I still had to have a kicker pole at the bottom to get enough length, so it probably made the mast up around 17 feet. So I only need 13 feet of this. Maybe I'll go a little longer, maybe I'll go 13.6. Let me figure out where the start and stop point. I'd like to have, and this one has more of a consistent, well, it's tapered about halfway, and then it goes straight, and then it bells at the bottom. So it has a different shape to it than the glass mast. But that's neither here nor there for what we're doing. This is a much smoother surface. And I'm going to wrap a piece of visqueen next tight on this, well, somewhat tight, and then another piece over the top to see what I got on plastic to plastic friction. But I was surprised that it was as tight on that last one as it was, because I didn't really put that much pressure on the 2-inch tape as I was wrapping it around. So I'm thinking it might have been the window screening underneath that was adding too much grip. Oh, this part peels off, but you never know. You never know how it's going to happen after it's got something else wrapped on top of it. And this visqueen has got little cut marks and dimples and stuff stuck to it. So I may even spray the tube with some kind of silicone or wipe it down with something to make it a little more slippery. We'll think about that. Well, I've been spending the last 2 hours in a conundrum over how I want to wrap this thing. I gave the aluminum a spray of silicone, and then I had a piece of visqueen I wrapped around it, but I'm going to change up, I think. I've got some of these, those tarps that Costco sells, they're brown, blue, or whatever on one side, silver on the other. I cut out a strip, and this stuff's pretty tough. So I'm going to, I think, remove the visqueen, put this underneath of it, and then trim and fit. And I think I'm going to get some of that nylon strand reinforced tape, and then once I get this fitted tightly to the aluminum, then I'm going to wrap, put several strands of that stuff on with a hold on one end, so that the mast will, the glass part will slip off, hopefully. So let me get to it, and I'll show you what I got when I get done, because I don't know what I'm going to do right now either, and there's no use in boring you. So we'll come back.